Tonight, from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL leads us to a snow-covered Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. Ray McLeod to return. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Steelers here ready to go to work for the first time. And the grizzled vet, Ben Roethlisberger, bringing him out now in his 18th season in the National Football League.
And it's not out of the question. It's not out of the realm at all to wonder if this might be the final season for Big Ben, either in a Steeler uniform or in the NFL period. He re-signed back in March saying, "It's my greatest honor to be a Pittsburgh Steeler and give my all for the organization." Had a big year in 2020, 33 touchdowns, just 10 interceptions, and led the Steelers to an 11-0 start. You have to think that he would love to end his career the way Peyton Manning and John Elway did, hoisting the Lombardi Trophy and heading off into the sunset.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but a guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week pumping up your defensive front. Your defensive tackles, your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys who go after the quarterback the most, because you know that he's not going to run and beat you consistently throughout the game. You can rush more aggressively off the edge and even up the middle, because even if he evades you, he's not going.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one, Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
And 2020 was another excellent season for number 8. Wasn't able to repeat the numbers from his MVP campaign of 2019, but bigger than that, got his elusive first playoff win, and he and the team hope that bodes well for them as they try and move forward in 2021. But let's face it, the numbers were still pretty darn good. 27 touchdown passes, another 1,000 yards on the ground, and 7 scores rushing. This young man continues to be elusive and continues to improve.
And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Jackson from the shotgun. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Jackson now. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Second and 10. To throw is Jackson. That one complete to Crochet. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
All right, partner, I wasn't good enough to get this done, but I played with plenty of guys who did. When they spotted wide receiver screen and they got to the football fast and blew the whole thing up, the same result as we just saw usually happened. No gain.
On 3rd down, Jackson slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll start the drive with Harris. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Here's Johnson with a reception. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They hand this off to Harris. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Now it's Roethlisberger. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Oh, that's a very good run there by Najee Harris, who can take it inside. He can get to the perimeter. He can do it all with his build and his speed. This is a guy coming out of Alabama who did everything for the Crimson Tide. That's why Pittsburgh took him in the 1st round. Last in the league in rushing as a team last year were the Steelers. They're expecting Harris to kickstart their running game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Harris. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this 1st half. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. pitch to the tight end. It's a fake. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
To throw again on 2nd down, Jackson. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. To throw again is Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
And Marquise Brown is definitely a guy who can take the top off of a defense and make the big catches downfield. Also known as Hollywood, now in his 3rd season from Oklahoma, wants to make more catches like the one we just saw there, the routine variety.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, Jackson. He's got it. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens will extend their lead here just before halftime. And this drive, Charles, very well timed as they score with very little time remaining in this first half.
And I'm reminded that they get the second half kickoff as well, so they can break this one wide open before the other guys have a chance to possess the football.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And we'll see what they opt to do with just 14 seconds remaining until intermission. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The previous run good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a terrific first half from the dual-threat quarterback, Lamar Jackson. His guys have the lead as the white stuff continues to fall. And for the call of the second half, we give it back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And he takes this near the 25, just a little past there, call it the 26. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And Sammy Watkins is in his 8th NFL season, spent the last 3 in Kansas City and won a Super Bowl there. Really excited about the opportunity to bond with quarterback Lamar Jackson. Makes a nice catch there.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson rolling to his right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
2nd down at 4. Now Jackson. Quick slant to Brown. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Well, the terrible towels here at Heinz Field out in full force. Here's 3rd and long. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. A little second effort there on the strong run, and then drop just inside of the 20. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Not that time for Watkins. And it's 3rd and 4. Here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Jackson. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt.
And the Watt family certainly knows how to get to the quarterback. His brother J.J., he led the NFL in that category twice in 2012 and 2015. And now T.J. enters the record books. Led the league in sacks with 15 in 2020, but he plays so hard, he's always around the quarterback. 61 pressures last year, 16 more than the second-place finisher.
Tucker's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's Roethlisberger. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first. But correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Ben to throw again. To the right side to Eric Ebron. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, you know, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A good pickup there at 22. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. But it'll be 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. short little throw to Ebron. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Jackson's going to look to run it. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the 1st. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. Here's Sam Cook now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So Ben Roethlisberger and the offense down by 13, a little over a minute to go. They've yet to dent the scoreboard tonight. Now they've got to do it twice late if they want a chance here. Now Ben. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And the Ravens have got it.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they are in an absolutely golden spot. It's 1st and goal following the fumble return. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here.
Kept it in his hands and tried to push it across the goal line himself, but the defensive front wouldn't allow him to do so, bringing up 2nd down and a bit farther.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Well, that's going to bring up a big call now because he is unable to make the play himself on 2nd down. Now you just have to wonder, will they keep the ball in his hands on 3rd down?
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.